Hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Shan and this is Shan Plays. Today I'm going to be building a tiny log cabin. So it's a log cabin style house that is built as a tiny home residential lot. So the mid tier. I had the hardest time for this getting the shape right and getting the roofs right and just making it look right. And I'm not 100% sure. I'm not convinced all the way that I succeeded, but I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. I really wanted to get this loft kind of look going because, I mean, it would be really easy to make a single level tiny house log cabin, but I wanted to make it have that extra loft type level like a lot of log cabins have. So I made that giant roof thing. And then I made the first floor have medium height walls, so it looked at least semi-proportionate. Also, please forgive my hoarseness and clearing of my throat. I'm a little bit under the weather still, so I'm sounding all raspy and sultry, perhaps. Also, sorry if you can hear my computer dying. So this pack wasn't a limited pack build per se, but I did try to keep it with a lot of items from the camping pack. I forgot what it's called, but yeah. I really felt like that's the pack if you're gonna have a log cabin. So you'll need that, and I did use the Murphy bed, so you definitely need tiny living. Besides that, I don't think I used too much from a bunch of different packs. I was really pleased here with my terrain paint, how that ended up turning out. I haven't actually used that gravel texture before, but I thought with like the dirt on the edges, it looked pretty realistic. Another thing I had trouble with here was finding a door that looked right. We just don't have that many rustic doors, and since I was using medium height walls, they were looking like awkward sizes, and then I couldn't find any 2-tile doors that I liked, so I had to do an off-center door. Here I'm doing the little trick where you get extra tiles by placing a single unit of fence or wall instead of like closing it off. I only did that for the balconies though, because I was trying to keep in the spirit of the game and not be horrifically cheaty, which, you know, is also fun, but not what I was going for with this. I just wanted it to be little and cute. So I really wanted some kind of cute window up at the top of the peaks, and that wasn't exactly what I wanted, but at least it fit. I don't know, this build just, I struggled with it a lot, you know? I don't think I've actually built a log cabin. I have an ongoing restaurant project that I've worked on where the different rooms have different themes, and one of them does have a log cabin theme, but other than that, this is the first log cabin I've built in The Sims, so I felt like it was a lot of trial and error. I really wanted to get the stairs inside, and I try a whole bunch of different ways to do it. And there I am picking like what type of stairs I want. Have to have the perfect stairs, of course. So then I'm trying to like configure it in different ways to see if that'll work. But since the upstairs is a lot smaller than the downstairs, it was just getting really tricky finding places where I could have like an entrance and an exit that would make sense with the floor plan. And for as much as I try to finagle these stairs, I never actually get them to work on the inside. And so later on, yeah, this is like the configuration that it wouldn't work at all, which I thought was hilarious. Anyway, later on, I end up having to put them outside, sadly, but that just adds to the rustic vibe, you know? You know, you're trying to live a simple life. You might be camping or something. You want to be in the great outdoors, you know? Right? Let's go for that. I really wanted to have 2 bedrooms upstairs, and so I was trying to figure out how to make that work. So basically, I'm just like playing that like traffic game, I think it's called, where you traffic jam maybe, that puzzle game where you try to fit everything in the little spaces. Pardon me. Sorry I'm yawning. It's like after 2 a.m. for me. Also, there's a storm going on and I'm kind of afraid of storms, so I'm gonna just pretend that's not happening. Here I was trying to do different things with little hallways, but it was just ending up wasting so much space. So I had to scrap that. I decided to go inside and I forgot to put a fireplace on the outside, darn it. Or a chimney, I mean. I was gonna put a chimney, but I didn't do one. Oh well, I guess if you download it, you can add a chimney. But, you know, there's a fireplace. Don't know where the smoke's gonna go. Maybe in the house. Don't die of smoke inhalation if you get this house. So I suddenly realized I was gonna need a bathroom. So kind of put that there. I wanted it to be a bigger bathroom because I thought I might end up having a toddler live in this house. So I wanted to be able to fit a bathtub. And sorry, it's thundering. Thunder freaks me out. I was really pleased to use a lot of the kind of log, rustic things I would never use ordinarily. So that was pretty fun, like using that sink. I would never use that sink otherwise. For the kitchen, I wanted it to look a little bit old-fashioned, a little bit rustic. I imagine that this cabin might be like a rental type of situation. So I didn't put it as a rental, like I didn't put it in, the campground world or whatever, because I wanted it to classify as a tiny home. But I think it could work really well for that, actually. The kitchen, I moved around a little bit, but I'm pretty pleased with where I ended up putting it. I think it fits really well there. And I think it looks kind of like a good mix of modern and cabin vibe. So I'm trying to figure out the main living area now. I decided I was going to add in a Murphy bed because, again, if this is a rental type situation, I think that would make sense. Plus, it's always fun to potentially die in a Murphy bed. We all know it. We all love it. Got to have that opportunity there. So I moved back upstairs, still trying to figure out, I really wanted to have 2 bedrooms up there, but they were just going to end up being really small and awkward if I did that. So I decided instead to put an extra bathroom upstairs since I realized I did not have a sink downstairs. Plus that way I got to use I had a sink downstairs. I did not have a shower downstairs. I just had a tub. And if you have 4 Sims living here and 1 bathtub, that's just going to be annoying. So yeah, the upstairs people have their own bathroom. And I imagine it might be a couple kids up here. So I tried to put some kid-friendly things. Got to have the Monster night lights. And I didn't try to make it too personalized because, like I said, I was imagining it being more of a rental. So a family would just come and visit here. However, you could totally live here for your main house, and in which case you could personalize it for your own Sims. I think it would be kind of funny to have a series where there's like these really city-fied Sims, and they have to go and like learn to live in the country. And I don't know, that could be fun. That could be fun. I might try to do something with that. I don't know. I went ahead and added in the globe bar. I don't necessarily think a globe is the most log cabin thing to have in the world, but I also just felt like it helped add to that kind of older look to the place, and then I had those kind of like more industrial type lights, as well as those like jar lights. I would have loved to have had like deer antler chandeliers, but unfortunately we don't have that in The Sims. I wish we could have like a country pack where we got all this kind of like redneck stuff, and we could also have horses in it, like countryside, country living. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. And you could have like, how fun would it be if you could have like chicken coops? That would be amazing. Or like little pigs. Sorry, I'm like getting way too caught up on this. I did use the island living banisters, I suppose. And here I was just thinking it just looked too weird. Like I was having trouble looking at it and having good depth perception actually, and so I just put those columns there to help my eyes discern the depth. And here I start trying to find a good rug to have. And we have so many rugs and so many good rugs. However, it was just a struggle getting one that was going to be sized correctly. Because it's kind of, you know, a little bit of an unusual living space. I feel like I ended up having a lot of wasted space over where that globe is, but I just couldn't figure out how I wanted to use it. And here I ended up solving my problem just by layering rugs, and I think they look super duper cute. Unfortunately, I messed up my recording and I did not capture myself doing most of the landscaping, but it wasn't terribly exciting anyway, and you will get to see it in the screenshots. But basically, I just like got some debug trees and made it look more wooden. Well, that's not false, more wooded. And then I also had like a little like barbecue area and a little like fire pit type situation. Campfire, that's what it's called. And oh yeah, I also put like the wash bin and the laundry line kind of out back. So you don't have to, you know, if you don't have laundry day, it's fine. It's not like there's a whole laundry room or something, but it's there if you want it. I don't know. I thought it looked cute and all old fashioned. If I would have been thinking, I would have gone ahead and made this an off the grid lot, but I did not do that. It wouldn't be very hard to change since a lot of the things I did use were off the grid anyway. I think it would actually be interesting. Oh, you can see the toddler bed in the background because I'm still like thinking I might have a toddler. So I just had it there to remind me kind of. And I had like two spare tiles, right? So that's why I ended up making that weird little front porch. And I actually really like how it looks in the back with that staircase curving around the side. I think it adds a lot of visual interest because it's not the most exciting looking building. But that's just because it's supposed to be a pretty basic log cabin and they're not terribly exciting. I would have liked to have had brighter green roof tiles though. I think that would have been really cute. Also, I'm not completely sure how I feel about those. I think it's movie hangout, those little poofs that are kind of by the fireplace. I wanted it to be like, oh, you can enjoy being by the fire, but I felt like if I had real chairs, it just looked too crowded. Pardon me. So yeah, I went with the little poofs and they add a little color, so I'm pretty happy with them actually. And then I loved how that, I think it's from Movie Hangout also, that table looked right there. I don't think I've ever used it in that color before. You know, it's a lot more subdued. Then I was just picking out plants I thought I might like to use. I didn't end up using all of them, but I was really glad I had them right there because I think it did save me time in the end. Of course, I got a nice little wreath up. Nice little sunflowers in your little milk can. Gotta go with that rustic vibe. And then I found that side table and I was like, I must use it. So I kind of relocated the Murphy bed. I did not play test this, but I think everything should work. The thing I'm most nervous about though is that little console table next to the door. I'm not sure if the door can open or not, but I think it can, but it might not. So if you have trouble with that, that would be why. I also felt like using the big mirror in the bathroom looked a little bit odd, but it was just such the right look. I decided to use it anyway, and I did like how it kind of took up some wall space. The windows in here are pretty sporadic, but I mean, I think that's pretty true to life. So, you know, what you gonna do? And, oh, I love getting that painting of the horse. Like, how much more country can you get? I mean, really, like that's like the place that you're gonna want to have that, you know? And we're coming to the end here. So I have screenshots at the end for you guys, and I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and give me a like, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you'll know whenever I post new videos. But yeah, I'm working on my timing here, but I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye-bye.